Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 9 Mile Swamp. Boy, it's good to be here. And you know what? We have some birthdays tonight. We have happy birthday, Rosa Klein. We have a happy birthday to Barbara Hallam. And we also have a special happy birthday for one of the world's greatest guitar players, a guy named Peter Blanchett. And I don't know if this honors him or not. Massacring one of his greatest songs is not the way to say happy birthday, but happy birthday, Peter.
Group. Hey, Mom, and Joe, and Michael. Yeah, we said Rosa, happy birthday, Rosa. 16.
Yeah,
She's
that's
16.
Great. 16. It's something about
starting to drive.
New wheels,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Barry. Well, Barry Edelman's listening too. And
hi,
Carol.
Barry.
Hi, Carol. Yeah, so, what a day. What a weekend.
What a weekend. Yeah, we spent the whole day chipping one of our cars out of the ice today. And I'm having a little trouble with trigger finger, so I'm hoping I'm going to make it through tonight's show without having to cut it short. Because what happens is I shouldn't show you my middle finger.
No.
What?
That's okay.
I'm not, no. What happens is that it just goes, I don't want to say anything obscene, as stiff as a sailor on leave. So anyhow.
I don't get it.
Of course you don't get it. I'll tell you later, when you get a little older. So anyway, we're going to start out with...
Hey, Philip. Good to
Hi,
see
Philip.
you.
And we're going to start out with a song by David Ray called, hi Blaze, called Maverick Child. I looked out my window and what did I find? Snow was on the rooftop, pretty women on my mind. Long after midnight and long before day, I just picked up this old guitar to make a song to drive my blues away. 'Cause I'm just a maverick child. I'm young and running wild. Remember that you once were just the same. I ain't got nobody now to show me wrong from right. All my wisest teachers were just a stumbling in the night. And I ain't got nobody now to show me right from wrong. It's all the same to sit this way and watch my shadow dancing on the wall. 'Cause I'm just a maverick child. I'm young and running wild. Remember that you once were just the same. And don't pretend you understand to know just what it's like to rent a $15 room and lie awake all night. If my habit is worse than whiskey, and supposing that you're right, at least it helps to drive away the things that come and stare at me all night. 'Cause I'm just a maverick child. songs and then she sent him off to bed. Now he sits in silence and he listens to the night. He's staring at the ceiling while he tries to freeze his fancies in their flight. 'Cause he's just a maverick child. He's a young and loving wild. Remember that you once were just the same. I looked out my window and what did I find? Snow was on my rooftop, pretty women on my mind. David Ray.
Yeah.
You may not remember David Ray, but you might remember Ian and Sylvia. And David Ray was a guitarist for Ian and Sylvia for some time. He was a Canadian songwriter. And I don't know what happened to him. He put out one album and then never heard of him again. But some really amazing songs. Some wonderful. Speaking of amazing songs, here's an amazing song.
You need a capo for it.
I do. Thank you, dear.
This one?
You're keeping me honest. This is one of my favorite songs because it really has some surprises when you listen to it for a while. So listen carefully because you'll see some things in the lyrics that seem unusual for a car, or rather for a song that's merely about a car. It's called Thunderbird.
And before you start,
One of my favorite cars. What?
I want to say hi to Albie and Janice. who
Hi,
came
Albie
in,
and Janice.
And Stephen Ross.
Hey, Stephen.
And John Martucci is there too. And Blaze. You said hello to Blaze before, but I didn't. Well, thanks for joining us. Drop us a line if you're watching, so we know you're there.
John Hiatt, Thunderbird. My Thunderbird, my Thunderbird, put your head on my shoulder, don't say a word. We'll cut across town in my Thunderbird. There's a burial ground beneath a cattle herd. Mr. Henry Ford is building me a Thunderbird, my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. Put your head on my shoulder, don't say a word. We'll cut across the county in my Thunderbird. We're from Pennsylvania, Welshmen of words. My daddy drove a DeSoto, I drive a Thunderbird, my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. She's the voice of the future, baby, have you heard? Tomorrow's taking wing in my Thunderbird. Got electric windows, tilt-away wheels, slide across the bucket seat for that sexy leather feeling. My Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. She drives like a dream, baby, rest assured, it doesn't get better than a Thunderbird. Take it, baby. Down to the Model T, a lot of men have died so that you could ride with me in my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. Put your head on my shoulder, don't say a word. We'll cut across town in my Thunderbird. My daddy was a salesman, my brother was too. Well, I'd sell anything so that I could ride with you, but not my Thunderbird, not my Thunderbird. Willie Loman's talking louder, I can't hear a word. I'm driving too fast in my Thunderbird. Yeah, they made him that way. Yeah, they made him that way. Yeah, they made him that way. I was a kid, I had a neighbor who had a Thunderbird, and it was sort of an aqua blue. It was gorgeous, with the little port windows on the side. So what do we got on the list?
We
have a Tim Hardin song.
Yeah.
Okay. If I listen long enough to you, I'd find a way to believe it's all true. Knowing that you lie straight face while I cry, still I look to find a reason to believe. If I gave you time to change my mind, I'd find a way to leave the past behind. Knowing that you lie straight face while I cry, still I look to find a reason to believe. Someone like you makes it hard to live without somebody else. Someone like you makes it easy to give, never thinking of myself. Someone like you makes it hard to live without somebody else. Someone like you makes it easy to give, never thinking of myself. If I listen long enough to you, I'd find a way to believe it's all true. Knowing that you lied straight-faced while I cried, still I look to find a reason to believe. Still I look to find a reason to believe. Yeah. Hey, this is the Travis picking set tonight. I just realized I'm 4 songs in a row with Travis picking. Okay. There was actually, I got a email from a young man who wanted to learn how to do that today, and I promised to send him a slow motion video, so you can play this one in slow motion. No, but I promise I will do that Tuesday or Thursday. Lucas, and I don't know if you're listening, Lucas, but thank you for asking. This is called Fairy Befall the Mountainside, and it's a lyric written by William Morris, and we'll be talking a little bit more about William Morris in a while. And the song is sung by a set of men and a set of women, and the men represent a group of men who are marching off to war. The women represent the women who are staying home, and they're kind of teasing the men. They're saying, well, where are you guys going? And they're teasing back and saying, oh, we're going out to take care of the sheep. Everybody really knows that there's a war on, and that's what they're going towards. At the end of the song, when they come back, naturally some of the men don't come back, but the ones who do come back in their armor, and the women meet them in the novel dressed in armor, and it's sort of a little ritualistic play, and the men conquer the women. At least, of course, I know. Hey, it's the Middle Ages. It's talking about, for crying out loud, and then they wed, and so it's a very, very sweet.
Now is the rain upon the dead.
Our kind are on the Hiatt still. The eddies lap them round. All dikes the wind-worn waters fill, and waneth grass and ground.
Oh, ride ye to the river's brim, in war we'd fare to sea. O'er winter waters will ye swim, in hauberks to the knee.
Wild is the day and filled with rain. Our sheep are warded ill. The wood wolves gather for the plain, their ravening maws to fill.
Nay, what is this, and what have ye? A hunter's band to bear, the banner of our battle's glee, the skulking wolves to scare.
Oh, women, when we wend our ways to deal with death and dread, the banner of our fathers' days must flap the wind o'erhead.
Ah, for the maidens that ye leave, who now shall save the hay? What grooms shall kiss our lips at eve, when June hath mastered May?
The wheat is won, the seed is sown. Here toileth many a maid, and ere the hay knee-deep hath grown, your grooms the grass shall wade. And fair befall the mountainside, whereon the place shall be. And fair befall the summertide,
That
whoso lives shall see. Fair Befall the Mountainside.
Yes.
Words written by William Morris, and the melody and chord changes by Stephen J. Altman Jr. And this is a song this is a song from my very first album, which is called Think Back. And this is called Waking by the Sea. The sound of the sea birds that hang on the wind, waking me from a long rest. The smell of the salt upon the wind wakens a thrill in my breast. Your body on the crystalline beach, changing in form with the mold of my hand. My blood it hammers all within, like the sound of the waves on the sand. I've been gone these 7 years, lost in the sea here within, driven on the pulsating flood between the shores of the skin. 7 years from port to port, with foreign tongues too thick to understand. Now I'm lying here upon the shore, in the warmth of your sun and your sand. Sweet words unspoken underneath the ocean's breeze, you can hear them in the water as they splash upon the beach. Being is a promise built upon the sand. Promise me the mystery, the warmth that's in your hand. Walking down along the shore, the water tugs at our knees. Jewels that glitter beneath the waves draw us into the sea. Weightless wind, the waters flood, wise as the dolphin that swims endlessly. How I long to repeat your name against all eternity, against the pulse of the sea.
Very nice. And that's on, you redid that Think Back and you turned it into a CD called One.
That is correct.
So
That is correct.
On our website.
And then everybody wrote me notes say, please don't call the next one too. I got a few of those. Probably well deserved. Oh, you know what? It's time for reading.
Time for reading.
Okay.
And say, Jane, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. If you are watching, just drop us a note so we know you're there and we can say hello.
So, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is.
There, it's right there. It's waiting for you.
Alrighty. A little bit about William Morris. He was, as a socialist, he's been somewhat criticized over the years because he was born into privilege. But let me say this about that. Morris was given several shares of a company called the Devon Consols, a copper mine. And it was the biggest copper mine in England. And it was extremely he made a lot of money, enough money that he had an income. And in his early middle age, he visited Devon consoles to see what it was like, and to see how the people lived and worked there. And he was appalled, because the mine also produced, and I don't know if this often comes with copper, but the mine also produced arsenic, and people were sick, and people were near death, and they were living in squalor. And so after his board meeting, he went to a board meeting being a shareholder. He took off the only time in his life he ever wore a top hat. Took off his top hat and sat on it in protest. And then he went home and sold all of his shares in the mine. And he took that money and he put it into a sort of art guild business, which was called William Morris and Company. Or eventually became called William Morris and Company. At first it was the names of 5 or 6 men, and managed to still earn a good living. But he did it on his own after having lived off of the misery of these people for years. And then later, still in his life, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, most of these 80s and 90s, in addition to the many different products he was making by hand often, and he was working hours every day and into the night. He also was doing street corner lectures on socialism and traveling England and Scotland, speaking to working people. When he died at 62 years old, the doctor that attended him proclaimed that he had died from doing the work of 12 men, which is actually not true, but it's an interesting reminder. And the reason why I say that is because after I read you this little piece, which is from 2 of his lectures, that when he lectured to working men, I forgot what I was going to say.
After you read this, you're going to read
after I read this, I'm going to read a poem where he talks about himself as the idle singer of an empty day, which is just ironic, because there was never in the whole history of mankind a man who worked harder than William Morris. Anyway, I put this together from 2 different lectures. One was called The Lesser Arts, and the other was called Art Under Plutocracy. When William Morris uses the word art, he's talking about art writ large. In other words, not just the stuff that you would see when you go into an art museum, but art to William Morris is everything from a farmer making the reins for his horse to anything you could imagine, to the building of a house. All of these things to William Morris. Anything that man does with his hands that does not occur in nature, to him is art. And his whole life long was a celebration of art. Not the celebration of things made in factories, mind you, but a celebration of things that people made from their own will, of their own accord, so to speak. The reason why 19th century environmentalists are so critically important to read is because this is the first generation of people who really got the idea of what was going on in the planet. And in the 19th century in England, things were really bad. There were rivers running with sulfuric acid. The amount of coal that was being burned was incredibly unhealthy. And working in factories was awful. Child labor, well, you've read all about it in school, so you know something about it. Okay, I'll get right to the reading then. Art. That is to say, art of civilization writ large, my note, will make our streets beautiful as the woods, as elevating as the mountainsides. It will be a pleasure and a rest, and not a weight upon the spirits to come from the open country into a town. Every man's house will be fair and decent, soothing to his mind and helpful to his work. All the works of man that we live amongst and handle will be in harmony with nature, will be reasonable and beautiful. It is a dream, you may say, of what has never been and never will be. But dreams have, before now, of things so good and necessary to us, come about. I am here with you tonight to ask you to help me in realizing this dream, this hope. How does it fare with our external surroundings in these days? What kind of account shall we be able to give to those who come after us of our dealings with the earth, which our forefathers handed down to us still beautiful, in spite of all the thousands of years of strife and carelessness and selfishness? He must be a man of narrow, incomplete mind, who amidst the buildings raised by the hopes of our forefathers, amidst the country which they made so lovely, would venture to say that the beauty of the earth was a matter of little moment. And yet, I say, how have we of these latter days treated the beauty of the earth, or that which we call art? To keep the air pure and the rivers clean, to take some pains to keep the meadows and tillage as pleasant as reasonable use will allow, to allow the peaceable citizens freedom to wander where they will, so they do no hurt to garden or cornfield, nay, even to leave here and there some piece of wasteland or mountain sacredly free from fence or tillage, as a memory of man's ruder struggles with nature in his earlier days. Is it too much to be so far thoughtful of man's pleasure and rest? But not a whit of it shall we get under the present system of society. That loss of instinct for beauty which has involved us in the loss of popular art is also busy in depriving us of the only compensation possible for that loss, by surely and not slowly destroying the beauty of the very face of the earth. So we think that environmentalism started on Earth Day. The truth of the matter is the 18th century scientist, the end of 18th century scientist, Alexander von Humboldt, noticed environmental degradation and wrote about it. The thing about it is that the Earth did not reach 1 billion in population until 1803. There are more than 7 times that many people living on the planet now. We have work to do. Anyway, I'd like to read you a William Morris poem. This is called The Apology. I'm sorry. This is from The Earthly Paradise, and I don't know if it has a title. Perhaps it doesn't. This is an annotated version, volume 1 of Earthly Paradise, which is the longest poem probably ever written. It's all the Greek mythology and Norse mythology written in verse. And this particular book came with a card from the editor, Florence Boos. And on the cover of the card, you can see William Morris's house, Kelmscott Manor. And you can see the beautiful borders he carved in wood before this was printed on paper. Very beautiful. Of heaven or hell, I have no power to sing. I cannot ease the burden of your fears, or make quick-coming death a little thing, or bring again the pleasure of past years. Nor for my words shall ye forget your tears, or hope again, for aught that I can say, the idle singer of an empty day. But rather, when aweary of your mirth, from full hearts still unsatisfied ye sigh, and, feeling kindly unto all the earth, grudge every minute as it passes by, made the more mindful that the sweet days die, remember me a little, then, I pray, the idle singer of an empty day. The heavy trouble, the bewildering care that weighs us down who live and earn our bread, these idle verses have no power to bear. So let me sing of names remembered, because they, living not, can ne'er be dead, or long time take their memory quite away from us poor singers of an empty day. Dreamer of dreams, born out of my due time, what should I strive Why should I strive to set the crooked straight? Let it suffice me that my murmuring rhyme beats with light wing against the ivory gate, telling a tale not too importunate to those who in the sleepy regions stay, lulled by the singer of an empty day. Folk say, a wizard to a northern king at Christmastide such wondrous things did show, that through one window men beheld the spring, and through another saw the summer glow, and through a third the fruited vines arow, while still unheard, but in its wonted way, piped the drear wind of that December day. So with this earthly paradise it is, if ye will read aright and pardon me, who strive to build a shadowy isle of bliss, midmost the beating of the steely sea, where tossed about all hearts of men must be, whose ravening monsters mighty men shall slay, not the poor singer of an empty day. William Morris, if you're interested in socialism, read about William Morris. He's different. His socialism was about happiness and art, and art for everyone, education for everyone, equality for women, lots of things we think of as being things of our time. Education for everyone. Boards of education for everyone. Okay. Hey.
Hey.
Let's play some music.
Electric guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining us, and if you are with us, just drop us a note so we know you're there, and we'll love to get back to you later and respond.
Yeah. You ready?
I am.
We've walked this road for far too many dusty summer days, and though I hate to say it, babe, I must be on my way, and I'm going all alone. I will make it on my own. I got nothing to atone for, and there's nothing more to say. I'm sorry, but it's true that I must believe in you. You're gonna find someone to follow in another brighter day. And what can you say? You just can't say. Who can you blame it on me? It's not the way you gave me love that makes me wanna go, and it's not the way you look at things or what you didn't know. It's a point of view I haven't found. It's a sign I barely read. It's a spot on the horizon that I've just begun to see, and I'm going all alone. I will make it on my own. I got nothing to atone for, and there's nothing more to say. I'm sorry, but it's true that I must believe in you. You're gonna find someone to follow in another brighter day. What can you say? You just can't say. Who can you blame? Bring it on me. It's not the way you gave me love that makes me want to go. It's not the way you look at things or what you didn't know. It's a point of view I haven't found. It's a sign I barely read. It's a spot on the horizon that I've just begun to see, and I'm going all alone. I will make it on my own. I got nothing to atone for, and there's nothing more to say. I'm sorry, but it's true, that I must believe in you. You're gonna find someone to follow in another bright day. What can you say? You just can't see. Who can you blame? Blame it on me. I think you did. Well, I guess,
There's three harmonicas
everybody
on that
likes
song,
a little variety, never hurts, It happens. They all look the same.
Yeah.
They do. We should actually paint all the harmonicas different colors.
That one has a dog on it because it's a D.
Yeah, dang if I can see it, that's a dog. So, let me see, what do we got here? Oh, whatever happened? Hey, Albie, this is for you. I hope you have your bass strapped on. And, we also like to. I was just thinking, once again, wish all the happy birthday people happy birthday, and I was reminded of that because happy birthday, Rosa, because I just got a little rose inlaid on my guitar. See, I don't know if you can see it, but it's very cute. So I'm showing it to you in honor of Rosa's birthday. Okay.
Joe Giglio. Can we talk about Joe for a minute?
We can. I'd love to talk about Joe. Go ahead.
Do you want to talk about him?
Well, sure. Joe is a great friend of mine. We were friends going back to our New Paltz days. He's an absolutely fabulous jazz guitar player, and he has a wonderful show Sundays at 2 o'clock on Facebook if you go to Joe Giglio's page. Now, I'm going to spell Joe Giglio for you, okay? Joe, I bet you can spell that. But Giglio is Giglio, like Giglio, so Giglio. So he's a nice Italian boy. Just like me. Did you know I'm half Italian? You know that. And it's true. My mother's maiden name was Longo. But anyhow, you'll hear some great American classics from all periods, going back to your parents' and grandparents' music, and even our music when we were kids. Bob Dylan and different kinds of things that he does in his own particularly amazing jazz way. And his guitar playing is phenomenal. And his chatter is funny too. He's really a sweet guy, and you'll even like his cat. I mean, his cat is Cleo. You'll even like the cat.
Great way to spend a Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock on Facebook.
And if you're doing the dishes, or working around the house, or building an ark in the backyard or something, you can listen to him. Chipping ice. Sunday afternoons, Joe Giglio, 2 o'clock. Also, if you're not doing anything on Tuesday nights, my friend Craig Ellis, you can find him on streetjelly.com. Any other people you'd like to mention? How about Lara? She's doing her Monday night show?
Mondays, usually at around 7.
7 o'clock, Lara Hope.
It's touring right
believe
now,
it or not, Hope. I think you can spell that. Lara, Lara. And anyone else?
Mark Delgado.
Mark Delgado.
Thursdays at 8 on Facebook.
Cat
Mills, Friday. She's been doing Fridays at 8, I think.
Okay, that's incredible.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of stuff. So if you're stuck at home, you don't want to feel like going out to crowded bars and that sort of thing. Don't deprive yourself of live music, and certainly don't deprive live musicians of your wonderful presence. Yes. I have to tell you, it's such a nice thing when we finish the show and go back and look at the comments, because I can't actually read them now. but as soon as we're done, that's what I do. So you'll be, if you leave a note, I see there's Joe Giglio right there.
Said something.
You'll be hearing from me later, Joe. So where were we?
We're on Whatever Happened.
Oh, we're doing this for Albie.
Albie now had time to get his bass. Didn't have it before.
Wander aimlessly down empty street, wondering whatever happened to our love. I keep on hoping, love, that we will meet. Suddenly enough will be enough. The years go by, I know we tried, but it's not good enough to cry. Your angry words ring loud and true. But now and then I think again, and I remember back to when our lives together seem so new. Walk on, act like you don't even know me. Talk on to the man who's trying to be me. I see you stepping out, you seem so proud, dancing. Whatever happened to our songs? I see you running with a whole new crowd, baby. It's plain to see you moved along. Eyes meet, act like you know me from somewhere. I see that you don't want to show that you still care. I've got my own life now, I'm doing fine, really. I'm doing everything I want. The things I'm doing take up all my time. Can't you see I'm really quite content you're gone? The years go by, I know we tried, but it's not good enough to cry. Your angry words ring loud and true. But now and then I think again, and I remember back to when our lives together seem so new. Moments pass with a sad recollection. Distinctly, I can see your reflection. Moments pass with a sad recollection. Distinctly, I can see your reflection. Whatever happened? We're going to finish up tonight with a song called Same Jack. You heard I'm back on my feet. I just got back to town, and it's no surprise, baby, you're still hanging around. You threw me out on the street. You said I wasn't no good, and now you tell me, baby, you just misunderstood. You can stop all your talk, I won't hear anymore. And you can hit the road, baby, let me swing a hammer, baby, don't mind breaking my back. I didn't gamble or drink, I got the cash for the rent. I'd like to wish you luck, let you borrow my tent. I'd like to wish you luck, baby, let you borrow my tent. Better button up that coat, baby. It's cold out there. Yeah. And that concludes this week's edition of the 9 Mile Swamp. We'll be back in a week and with some different songs.
Thank
See
you
then.
so much for joining us. Happy birthday, Rosa. Happy birthday, Barbara. Happy
Peter.
birthday, Peter. And thank you all for joining us, and thank you for your kind notes. We're so grateful you could make it. Love having you join us on Sundays. Thanks, Blaze. Thanks, Jane, for tuning in. So good to hear from you.